Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first event of the Marbles season. This is going to be the qualifiers for the very first event, which will be an elimination round. Taking a look at that first sector, looking into that daring first corner and into those chicanes. Obviously, these marbles will have a lot of contact going into these tournaments, and it will be hard for the marbles to get around each other. Looking at sector 2, there's a big divider in the way, causing the marbles to split into two paths leading down into those curved chicanes. And then, of course, don't even forget about that third sector straightaway with the divider at the start and the merge at the end, which will put the marbles into a battle for the final win. As we move on to meet the marbles, here we go. And there's a Blizzard, Bumblebee, Canopy, Chameleon, Comet, Firecracker, Fluff, Freeze, Ghost, Hurricane, Komodo, Kraken, Lemon Lime, Moonlight, Raspberry, Shadow, Sunshine, and last but certainly not least, Supersonic. As we head into the qualifiers here is our first group. It is Blizzard, Bumblebee, and Canopy. As they roll down, it is Bumblebee with a good start, and Blizzard was hanging out in the back of the pack for a little bit, but they have made a pass on Canopy and might actually make a move for the lead, but will not get the chance that time. And we have a yellow flag with an incident on the track. It looked like it was Blizzard that got stuck on the track somewhere. Anyways, Bumblebee finishes in front of Canopy, and who slows down to a crawl at the end there. Next group is Chameleon, Comet, and Firecracker, consisting of 3 marbles every round, and it's Chameleon who gets off to a great start, absolutely shooting in front of the other 2 marbles here. Raspberry, Firecracker in second, Comet in third, and Chameleon flying down that final sector, finishing in front of Firecracker and Comet, who's a little off the pace. Ghost, Fluff, and Freeze are next in line for the qualifiers, and it's Ghost in front of Fluff. Fluff is really close to Ghost right now, kind of challenging for the lead. They are bumper to bumper, but Ghost manages to stay in front of Fluff. Freeze kind of at the back of the pack right now, and Ghost pulls away from Fluff and finishes in front. Fluff in second, Freeze in third. Next is Hurricane, Komodo, and Kraken. As we move on halfway through the qualifiers, it's Komodo who gets a good launch out of the start, then it's Hurricane right behind them. Kraken trying to get into the battle up front here and making a little bit of contact going into that divider, and it's Hurricane who gets around Komodo going into the third sector. And Hurricane finishes in front of Komodo, who finishes in front of Kraken. Then we have Lemon Lime, Moonlight, and Raspberry. A lot of these marbles really looking for a good finish in these qualifiers to make sure that they start on that front row. Anyways, into the next round, Lemon Lime starting off with the lead. Moonlight battling with Raspberry in the back there. Raspberry taking that quicker side of the split, and Lemon Lime taking that left side of the track and finishes on the first row. Raspberry a little very off the pace there. Then for our final group, we have Shadow, Sunshine, and Supersonic. As they roll down, it is Supersonic starting out with the lead and kind of pulling away from Shadow and Sunshine right now. As they head through the split here, Supersonic with a hard bounce off the divider and loses 2 places. Shadow flying into the lead. Sunshine battling with Supersonic there, and I don't know who that was. That was very close there. Here are the results. And there is the starting grid for the first ever competition of the Marble League on On front row, we have Bumblebee, Chameleon, Ghost, Hurricane, Lemon Lime, and Shadow. Second row is Sunshine, Moonlight, Komodo, Fluff, Firecracker, and Canopy. Third row is Blizzard, Comet, Freeze, Kraken, Raspberry, and Supersonic. That is going to be the starting grid for the next competition, and thank you for stopping by today.